you guys. Today we continue Unit 3, Reading, Ways of Socializing. Now you look at the picture and answer the question. What are they doing? Picture 1, raising hands. Picture 2, jumping up and down. Picture 3, clapping hands. Picture 4, nodding. Picture 5, waving. Picture 6, pointing. Picture 7, whistling. So we have other ways of attracting someone's attention by using gestures instead of saying words. Thì chúng ta sẽ có những cái cách để thu hút sự chú ý của ai đó bằng cách sử dụng cái ngôn ngữ hình thể, cái cử chỉ điệu bộ của chúng ta thay vì chúng ta dùng lời nói. Now you learn new vocabulary. Listen and repeat. Socialize. Socialize with someone. Sociable. Attract. Attract someone's attention. Attractive. Attraction. Verbal. Nonverbal. Formal. Informal. Formality. Informality. Appropriate. Inappropriate. Instance. Situation. Whistle. Wave. Point. Now you look at 3 questions. Multiple choice questions, and you guess which one is correct before we read the reading text. 1. Which communication situation are mentioned in the reading text? At the airport, in a restaurant, at the school, all are correct. So we choose, you can guess D, all are correct. Number 2, which non-verbal signal is appropriate for attracting someone at the airport? Waving, clapping, jumping, pointing. So at the airport, you can use non-verbal signals like jumping when you are excited to see your relatives at the airport. And number 3, which one is non-verbal communication? Pointing, waving, shaking. All are correct. So we choose all are correct.
Unit 3, Ways of Socializing. Part A, Reading, page 30. To attract someone's attention so that we might speak to that person, we can use either verbal or nonverbal forms of communication. Let us look at nonverbal communication in English. Probably the most common way of attracting someone's attention is by waving. For example, if we are at a noisy party and see a friend come in the door about 20 meters away, we might raise our hand and wave to her as a signal that we see her. But how hard can we wave in a situation like this? Suppose you are at the airport and you see your brother get off the plane and begin walking toward you. If you are excited, you might jump up and down and wave as hard as you can to attract his attention. This is the instance where big, obvious nonverbal signals are appropriate. There are, however, some social situations where smaller, nonverbal signals are more appropriate. In a restaurant, for example, if we want to attract the attention of our waiter, We have several choices. We can wait until he passes near us, catch his eye, and nod slightly to let him know we would like him to come to our table. Or we can raise our hand slightly to show that we need assistance. We do not whistle or clap our hands to get the person's attention. This is considered impolite and even rude. In most social situations, where some informality is allowed, a brief raise of the hand and a small wave is fine. For instance, if you are walking across the schoolyard and see your teacher approaching you, a small friendly wave to attract his or her attention is appropriate. Once you've got your friend's attention, you shouldn't point at that person or thing you want her to look at. A slight nod will do. Pointing at someone is usually considered rude. Of course, there are times when pointing is perfectly acceptable, such as when a teacher wants to get someone's attention in class. The teacher often points to the student and says, "David, would you read the next sentence, please?" Pointing here is not impolite. It's simply a way to get someone's attention.
Now after reading, let's do task number 2. You have 5 minutes to read the questions and scan the answer in the reading text. 1. What can we do if we want to attract someone's attention? If you want to attract someone's attention, we can use either verbal or nonverbal communication. Number 2. What are considered to be big, obvious, nonverbal signals? Actions that can be easily seen, such as jumping up and down or waving, are considered to be big, obvious, nonverbal signals. Number 3. What can we do if we want to attract the waiter's attention in a restaurant? If we want to attract the waiter's attention, we can wait until he passes near us, catch his eyes, and nod slightly to let him know we would like him to come to our table. Or we can raise our hands slightly to show that we need his assistance. Number 4. If you were walking across the schoolyard and see your teacher approaching you, what would you do to attract his or her attention? So in this situation, you can use a small friendly wave to attract his or her attention. Number 5. Why shouldn't you point at someone? We shouldn't point at someone because pointing at someone is considered impolite or even rude. Task number 3. What is the best title for the passage? After reading the whole text, we see that option A is the best title for the passage. Attracting someone's attention. Non-verbal cues. Đó là cái tựa phù hợp nhất cho cái đoạn văn mình vừa đọc là thu hút sự chú ý của ai đó, sử dụng những cái dấu hiệu không bằng lời nói. Now we have a quiz. Look at the sentences in the quiz and try to find out the correct answer. Now you can see the answer in the screen. So our lesson stop for today. Goodbye class.